You know what I mean? Like if you live elsewhere, it's the house pricing is reasonable. Everything else, like that's why you can pop out like kids and be more family oriented outside of.
And working on a news show where you're always reading the news.
Fuck. Yeah. That's depressing, isn't it, Anthony? You want to bring your kid into this?
But then, yeah, he's always talking about the Japanese birth rate needs help. But he's not having kids.
I probably have to go and find some Japanese girls.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Careful Boys. Today we have Ellen Kim with us. Hey! And we also have Kristin Farina over there. Hey! Also, we have Cris Sosa. Hey! Who will be moving to New York soon, so we're not going to see him as often.
And I'll be back.
Alright, check this out.
What does New York have that LA doesn't?
They got pizza.
They got pies.
We got a couple Sabaros.
Something in the water, man. The bagel's so different.
Different.
Suffering succotash.
Something about the bagels, man. All right, check this out. So, in our parents' generation, all of us would be pretty geriatric, you know what I mean? We would already be having like 5 kids. We're all coal miners and shit, deep into our careers. We probably look way older than we actually are, right? That's their generation, right? But now we're all like pushing that like age, like we're preserving that youth a lot longer, right? The only person in here that got a kid is Ellen, right?
Good job.
I was like, we know of. My question is, all right, so do you see having kids as like, because Chris mentioned earlier, that's it. His mom said, when you have kids, your life is fucking over.
Done.
She straight up said that to
and then
you?
do you think society today is putting that shit off for as long as possible because of those reasons? Because our generation is, the birth rate's lower. We're not having as much kids as our parents' generation and our grandparents' generation. And on top of that, if you live in a big city, you're getting married later or not at all, and you don't fucking have kids. So
I guess it depends, huh?
Well, Korea, they said that they're gonna go extinct.
same with Japan.
Korea has the same problem as Japan.
Korea's extinct.
So low because look at the economy. Everyone, like it's different there. Like it's more about career, and you need a high
Y'all can't go extinct.
salary to have a kid.
No more K-pop and no more anime. What are we gonna do?
Or
Japan too.
That's a good point, though. Is the money thing?
And also stress. Like I'm meeting so many women right now who have to go to IVF. They have to do that because they can't get pregnant.
But then those women are probably in their 30s, right?
Hitting 40s. Yeah.
Right. So that's another thing too, is that women are trying to get pregnant much later on in life, but they're not told that after 30, your eggs are already like 75% done.
Not even that. It's the
75.
stress. Look, as a mom, right? And I was a single mom, and then
How old were you when you had your baby?
30.
Oh. That's
29.
No, but that's an average age.
Average age, but then at that time it was like your career is fucking over, and
Were
like
people saying that shit to you?
everyone, like dancers were saying it, like
I said that to her.
Is your career over?
Kidding.
I was like I don't think so, but like the industry was like you're done, like it wasn't. My time, it wasn't like you're not supposed to have a kid, and then like even for family, they're like your career is gonna be done because obviously.
And look at you now, prove them all wrong.
And it's done. But even as a mom, how much money you have to make to get your kid education, make sure you're living in like a space where you feel safe, especially if you are a single mom. I had to move over to Sherman Oaks because it's just me and her, right? So
that's what they don't tell you in America is affordable means dangerous.
What do you mean? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I see.
Like affordable rent and like paying less
not ideal.
in LA, that means you're fucking in a war zone.
yeah, and then you gotta pay for that location.
So you're paying premium for not to get robbed.
And then the school system, like if you're not trying to pay, oh my gosh, I looked at one private school here in LA. It's $33K for kindergarten.
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 Holy shit.
That's somebody's fucking job, dude.
So it's like you start learning as a mom, like you're like, oh fuck, I really gotta relocate because of the education, the safety.
Whole thing, yeah.
Then you're like working how many jobs to sustain that life, you know? And then, of course, like women today, it's not tribal anymore. You're not gonna go, someone's gonna go grab the meat and someone else is going to tend to the hunter-gatherer.
Yeah.
Everyone's hunting, everyone's gathering. So women with the stress on top of hustle culture.
Yeah.
It's so hard to get
It is
pregnant.
hard because everything used to be in teams back in the day.
Villages, yes.
Yeah, communities. And stuff.
Like mom saying fuck off.
Because I remember like in our parents' generation, right? Like if you're a part of a church or whatever, there were so many people that would just meet up and like all the kids kind of took care of each other, and then the parents had time to kind of chill and do other errands and stuff. So there was that community aspect. But I do see now a lot more single parents, a lot more like parents with just 1 or 2 kids, and they're doing everything. There's no grandma, grandpa, all that stuff. So I'm like, how, yeah. So like this generation, right, especially like in a city like LA or whatever, back in the day, if you're already like 20 something, you're already married and popping out kids. But now that's like, it seems like almost impossible.
You meet most women I talk to, they're like, they don't want kids, or they're gonna think about having kids around like 40.
Wow.
And then
Are they like freezing eggs?
Even maybe freezing eggs if they have money, but
Because that's expensive to do.
so expensive.
But you also don't want to, like, there's people that want kids, but you don't want to have a kid if you can't support them and raise them right. I feel like it's just everything combined with culture and society and the way things are, like inflation, prices, like you said, more people are single doing their own thing. It's tough.
It's hard to take care of yourself before you take care of another human.
That's the hard part,
But here's the thing, as a mom, I'm just gonna throw it out there. I thought the same thing, right? Everyone's already telling me, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so then I have the kid and I'm like so afraid, right? I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to do. But then like seeing her looking at me and I'm looking at her, I'm like, oh fuck, I need to do this.
There's no option. There's no other option.
Yeah, you turn into an animal almost. I started turning into like, like
animals.
I'm gonna go fucking work and get this money.
So do you think it made you more of a hustler?
It made me more responsible.
Oh.
It made me like get my shit together and and then find value in my life because of her. And then it switched to who I was. Like I always was like a people pleaser, always working for the industry. Oh, you want me to cut my hair like this? Okay. But but when I had Kea, it was like, you know what? I don't even have fucking time for that. I don't got time for that bullshit. Like, look, I need to get a job. This, I need to get her education. So I know society says it's hard to have a child, though it flipped for me. It made me a better person because someone's mirroring me all the time. Like if she says something weird, I'm like, that's on me. Like, what am I doing in front of you that you're acting this way? So like, she made me, I always tell her like, you saved my life. Like you really did. Because if I kept going in the industry the way it was going, I don't know who I'd be today.
How was it going, like, right when you had your...
Fuck, it was going good, though.
Hey, yo. That is so real.
But you ruined my career.
Well, if I'm talking like just super narcissistic wise, like just me, myself, and I, yeah, it was so great, right? Like 6-pack, I was like booking shit and, whatever. But then it's like I meet people now and they're like, I've gotten this couple times and I'm like, oh fuck. They're like, Ellen, I just want to say like, you were kind of a bitch back then, but you're like really nice. And I'm like, oh fuck, was I? Was I going down that path?
I said that to her.
You could just start saying it to him.
Yes, no, but like
You're probably just so on it.
Yeah,
When you're single and selfish and going for your career, but I think that is, like if I had a kid right now, yeah, I don't want one right now because of the things that we talked about. Yeah, Brecken, watch this. No, because of like the financial situation, the way life is, but like if I had a kid, I know it would be fine. Like there's that motherly instinct. And a lot of women do believe, like I know some people where their purpose is just to have kids and like you know, procreate and support that. But also in this generation now, we're very entrepreneurs, you know, going for our dreams just with the access that we have. So I think there's like that cultural dynamic.
That's true, because some girls, it seems like they get looked down upon for wanting to be mothers.
Yeah.
And in some girls, it's like, you have to be CEO, you have to do that. And it's like, why can't people just choose what they want?
That's what I'm saying. Being a mom helped me get to that path, though.
Yeah.
That's interesting because can I tell you my fucking perspective
Please.
from your life? Like you need to hear it, but like
Can I judge you for a minute? Like, real quick?
But just judge harsh, okay?
because like I've known Ellen for a while, and I feel like I was kind of in the same boat as you before you had your kid. Like we were just trying to get whatever came, and we were just trying to book everything, right? But I feel like after you had your kid, I didn't really feel like you fell off at all, but I felt like you transitioned more into being like a boss type figure.
I agree.
Now
I saw
you
that
started doing
too.
more things that you were the catalyst for. Like you started doing your own shit more, it looked like, where you were booking people to be in your shit.
Oh.
That's what it looked like to me, because I'm like, oh, Ellen's like doing her thing and you're the leader of more shit. Which is like, is that because having a kid changed your look on like how to live your career?
Yeah. Thank you. That's so sweet.
That's what I thought.
Thanks, everyone.
No,
yes,
because like everyone wants to be that, right? We all want to be like, we all want to go from trying to get jobs to being the one at the head of the job, and people want to work for us. You know what I mean?
That switch was, I'm not fucking waiting for you to give me a job. I'm
Yeah.
gonna make this job happen.
Yeah.
And
Exactly,
then
yeah.
and then I'm glad that like I care about like people, because it's like, because I want to do it with friends, and I
Yeah,
want it
yeah.
like, I want you to get paid. I want us to have fun with it. So you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna make that shit happen.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
So then in some cases, like if you're single and you think about a kid, you go, oh, then I'm not gonna be able to go out or do these auditions or whatever. But then when you actually have one, then that's the drive
For
that
me.
makes you go, I gotta get my shit together.
Yeah, because I have this little kid looking at me, and I'm like, you know, God made kids cute, because if they weren't, like, drive you crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, so.
I got to witness that firsthand through my little sister. She had a child at 20, and she's the baby sister, and everybody's like, whoa, like it was like a surprise and stuff. And yeah, like, you know, we all got her back, but at the end of the day, she has to raise a child, and she's a powerful woman, yo. And I got to like really like witness that. You know what I mean? My nephew just turned 4 recently on the 13th. And yeah, I can see like all the happiness and joy in her, all of her like she works really hard, like she owns her own house, yo. She's a house owner.
There we go.
Yes, a house owner. She drives 18-wheelers. Like she's a super mom, yo.
Damn.
Yeah, yo. So I really got to see that, you know, and like just hella proud of her. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, yeah, because I know like with my sister, like she has. You know, she's the younger sister, so she was able to see me and my older brother, like, and see, like, how, you know, what to do, what not to do, and kind of follow what, you know, footsteps, whatever. But she already has that grind. But now you have a child, like you said, it times 10s it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It makes you step up.
Yeah, it makes you step up. You know what I mean? And so she basically put the powers that she already has into now, you know, raising a child, and you can see that through the child. Like, the child's amazing. You know what I mean? And that's a reflection of how she is as a parent. You know what I mean? So. Good shit, Mia. I'm proud of you, yo.
job,
That shit
Mia.
is so cool.
There's like, it's kind of scary too when you see examples of, like, that's the best case scenario, that something like that would make you step up, but we see people not step up.
See, that's the other side of it too.
That's terrifying.
Some people don't step up and they can't support their kid. Kind of similar situation with my sister. She got accidentally pregnant super young. I think she was 19 or 20, and she was kind of going down a rough path. But having the child like completely changed her, and same thing, has a house, family, cars, like you figure it out. But then there's people on the other side of it that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
They have a kid and
They stay
for
lazy.
some reason they don't get that fight mode, and then that kid suffers because of it. So
Or they get a flight mode.
Oh yeah.
flights.
Man, I'm learning like how to like, cause the way that she's like communicating with her child and how she like breaks everything down and no whoopings, yo. It's just all conversations. Like, are you gonna keep crying? Okay, you go to your room and cry. When you come out, we can talk about it. Those type of things. I'm like, damn, I'm like witnessing my sister really break these things down and like. I'm like, I don't know where she gets it from, but it's that instinct, you know what I mean? Of just knowing, like, you have no idea when you have a child, but then you figure it out, you know what I mean?
Yes, because I feel like this generation is the one that's going to really communicate to their children.
Yeah.
A lot of people are parenting different.
Yeah, I give her choices. Like, I tell her the hard truth of what certain things are, like, just for example, sugar. I showed her a video of like what sugar does at a very young age, and she started crying. Oh, and I was like,
what was
"But
the
this
video
is
like?
Diabetes."
Losing a toe.
Yeah, like here you go, and she started crying. But I was like, "This is real life,
real,
girl.
yeah.
Like I'm not gonna paint
It's real.
this Disney shit to you. This is real life. You want sugar, you choose."
Yeah.
And then she took it, and so till today she'd be like, "I'm good." Like,
Yeah, because
all
she
right.
can moderate herself now.
She's got
Yeah.
her own choices,
Damn,
and it's
that's tight.
communication.
Yeah.
One of the things my aunt said that she's like, I didn't eat that much meat growing up, and I'm like, why? He goes, oh, because we just had to kill all the animals that we wanted to eat. So then it was kind of a lot of work, and then it's dirty, and then so you have to kill the chicken and all that, and I'm all like, oh, damn. So if everyone had to kill their own meat,
A lot of people would not eat meat.
yeah.
There's a lot of dirty work for sure. Yeah.
And then they saw death. Like to them, it wasn't like a once in a great. Like she was like, the reason why we had a lot of kids back in the days because she's like, they won't all survive.
Which one's gonna make it?
Yeah, she goes, that's why we had a lot of brothers and sisters because one might get the fucking typhoid fever or whatever. One might get
On the Oregon Trail, yeah.
After the axle breaks.
dysentery and shit, like somebody's gonna die,
Yeah.
And then so they had siblings die, whatever, and then so they're like, yeah, that's why we popped out so many kids. And then so she's like, yeah, and it was like you see death, like, and then people go to war, they don't come back, and then shit like
That's
that.
another thing too,
Yeah.
is war, yeah.
So then I think like our generation is like we think we are mortal,
Yeah, we were kind of.
and we think we have forever to like pop out kids and all that stuff. And I was like, that's something that I didn't really think about until like recently. I'm like, yo, I'm almost 40, and that's something that's like by this age, my dad already had a couple.
Yeah.
I think about that too, yo.
Yeah.
I'm 29 and my dad had 3 kids by that point.
Yeah, me thinking like I was coherent enough to know when my parents were 40. You know what I mean? Like I remember them at their age.
Right.
The kids are like, "How old are your parents?" I'm like, 45. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It's crazy.
It makes me sad because I was thinking about how I remember when my dad turned 40, and I was already like sentient. I was like 6 or something. And I was making, like, he would always be like, hey, come here and, like, pull my gray hairs out, man. If you see any gray hairs, like, pull them out for me. And I remember being old enough to be like, dang, got gray hairs already? Old. You're so old, man. I don't even have a kid yet, and I'm, like, older than he was in that memory.
Yeah.
Like, I'm older than the dude that I'm seeing in that.
And this is kind of depressing, but if you think of it in the opposite perspective of, if people are having kids later, let's say when they're 40, there's some guys out there at 45.
Yeah.
P. Diddy still having kids, yo.
That they're 20, their parents are already 60, 65. Like the relationship and the span that you have with your parents decreases as well. And then if those kids wait even longer, like 35 to have kids, their parents might never meet their grandkids. So it's an interesting effect that it's gonna have.
Should we like make babies?
So who's trying to make some babies?
I think that's another thing.
I'm probably gonna make some. I'm trying to turn into a boss female CEO soon.
Really? Yeah.
That's one thing I don't like about it is that the climate created this fear of having kids that might not necessarily be true.
I think so.
I don't like that. Like,
I think so.
I don't have a kid now
Yeah.
on purpose. I did that. Like, I purposely thought I was not ready because of what I've learned around me, and it's not necessarily fact.
It's not.
You better call Smack right now.
That's been my
You ovulating?
I've seen my sister do it. I've seen my brother do it, and they both have kids around the same age. And I have an older brother, but I've seen them do it. And they make it seem cool. I'm in the group chat, like it's me, the siblings, and my parents, and we're all in the group chat. And it's always pictures of the nephews. And I'm like, man, I don't get to post nothing. Like I don't get to share.
Just put some stock photos of kids. That's the thing. You look at the news. Every one of those different articles is a reason to not have kids. If you really read into it, you're like,
Seriously.
oh, that's bad. This is bad. That's not good. It's like this the world they're gonna come into.
And just living in LA, I think the mentality here is so different because like it's affordable outside. You know what I mean? Like if you live elsewhere, it's the house pricing is reasonable. Everything else, like that's why you can pop out like kids and be more family oriented outside of the
And working on a news show where you're always reading the news.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That's depressing, isn't it, Anthony? You want to bring your kid into this?
But then he's always talking about the Japanese birth rate needs help, but he's not having kids.
I probably have to go and find some Japanese girls.
Yeah, it's definitely the basis for it is a lot of fear. I feel like, and
Anthony, do it.
But now it switched for me. Now I'm kind of like damn.